Hey everyone, Matt and Jerry here with totheplace.com. We're here at Hillcrest Cemetery at Virgil Stark's grave. He was one of the suspected victims of the Moonlight Killer. One night, can't remember the date right off the top of my head, the killer had went to his and his wife's farmhouse and had shot him through the window.
He was listening to the radio.
Yeah, he was listening to the radio, you're right. At the time, his wife was in another room. She'd actually heard the commotion and she'd actually thought that he was just being him and being clumsy until she came through and had noticed he had been shot. She ended up running to try to call the police, and the perpetrator had noticed, came through, tried to shoot her, shot her twice in the face actually. She managed to escape and run to the neighbor's house, in which she did call for help. Unfortunately, Virgil did pass away and Catherine did survive. She did later remarry 9 years later. This here is Catherine's grave. She went by Katie. She remarried a guy with the last name Sutton, right here. This one here, let's see who this is. This is Walter Virgil Stark, so right here he is. And she is also laid to rest with her other husband, Forrest Sutton. So all three of them are here with her being in the middle. Quite sweet that she is laid to rest with both of her husbands. All three of them are listed on the headstone here. You can see Forrest, Katie, as she went by, her name was Catherine, and then Virgil. He did go by his middle name. His first name was Walter, but he did not go by Walter. Again, this is the grave of Katie and Virgil Starks. Virgil being one of the victims of the Moonlight Killer back in 1947.
46, wasn't it?
46 or 47.
I'm not convinced that they're actually linked to it. We've been out to the location. It's about 12 miles out.
Yeah, it's quite a
Texarkana.
long drive. It was a weird going out there because we went to all the other locations first. You're right. And everything doesn't even fit the story. I think a couple months after the crime had happened, the police had kind of felt that it wasn't linked, and kind of had tossed it to the side, saying it wasn't. None of the stuff fits the other crimes. They were an older couple. They were at home, shot through the window of the house. Nothing like any of the other crimes. So it's a very different storyline. And if you think about it, all the other crimes that we've been to, Matt, they were all within like a mile or a mile and a half of each other.
You could walk to each of those locations.
Exactly, walking distance. As this one, again, it was a 15 to 17 minute drive out to this in a middle of nowhere.
So remote.
Remote area. If it is connected, the only thing I could think of, maybe he was just leaving the area. He had felt the heat was too hot right there in the Spring Lake area where all the crimes were being committed. He had to get out of that local area.
Yeah. But I mean, there's quite a lot of Texarkana that he could have gone to. The area that he actually done the known killings in was a relatively small area, as you'd mentioned. You could walk it. So it was possible that he could have moved to a different part of Texarkana and still been way off of the track. I don't know. It just seems weird to go so far out just for that one. I don't know.
Yeah, and who knows? That had the suspect that they think hadn't got caught, he served time in jail, the guy.
Yeah, the guy they were looking to as their number one suspect, he was Actually brought him for questioning, and I think they declined to prosecute him because the evidence was mainly circumstantial.
Yeah, but he was arrested later on another crime.
Right, yeah.
Served a lot of jail time, wasn't it? And that's, oddly enough, when the murders stopped.
Yeah, he was arrested and sent away for quite a long time for a violent crime. Can't remember exactly what it was, but it was violent, and it was enough to get him put away for a long time.
But, you know, thinking, you know, had he not got put away, if he was the killer, I'm not saying he was, we don't know. If he was the killer, you know, maybe those other areas outside of that, maybe there would have been more attacks. Maybe that was just, you know, him expanding his horizon.
Yeah.
But you know what? It is cold out here in Texarkana today. We're looking at about 65 degrees, which is weird for this time of year.
Considering we're used to being in the high 90s.
It's rainy, and I did not pack clothing for this kind of weather. So let's get out of here and head on to another location.
Sounds good.